Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be looking at the turn switch on my VFR motorcycle, which isn't working very well. So the switch bank on the left hand side of the handlebars, it deals with the horn, the indicators, the dipped and main beam light and so forth. But the problem we've got, or the problem I've got, is with the indicator switch itself. The turn indicator, and this has been going on for a long time, is incredibly difficult to push in. It used to be very fluid and easy for it to go in, but it's incredibly difficult now. I don't know if it's grease stuck together or what, I don't know, but it just feels horrible. So I don't know if cleaning will fix it, but I'm going to have a go and I'm going to take this off now. So I just disconnected some cables which I thought were from the turn switch selection of switches, but it turned out that it wasn't for the turn switch indicator switch at all. It wasn't for this one, it was for this. I've just disconnected the wrong thing, which is my heated grips, which is kind of annoying. So now I think I've got to take the fairing off, because it appears that there's a cable that goes all the way down underneath the fairing, so I've got to go and find that. So I'll have to take the fairing off. Okay, there's two screws holding this on, at least, so I can see. There's one at the back and one at the front. So it's a Phillips type screw thread, and I've got a torch underneath there, so I've got a ratchet and just put a bit on the end of the ratchet and undone it. So I'll show you the screws. So these are the screws there. The big one, that comes from the back, whereas the shorter one is at the front of the assembly. Right, okay, so I'm going to attempt to see if this comes off. Well, it's lifting off. I don't know quite what to expect, but actually it looks as if I might not have to take the whole thing off. Not entirely sure there. Waiting for it to focus there. Let's see if I can get, this. Just trying to move around to get a better look on the other side. Not quite sure what's stopping that coming off. I don't want to tear it off because I might break something. I couldn't see a video of anyone actually repairing one of these. Let's come around the other side and see if I can see a bit more switchy looking things. Okay, it's going to be a bit difficult for me to actually film and work with this at the same time, so I'm going to have to come back to it and show you what I found. Right, so it seems to be a pure mechanical assembly down there. You can see from the centre button here, which is the one that cancels it, there's a contact behind and a contact to the left and a contact to the right. Push that up a little bit so you can see it a bit more clearly. Hopefully you can see that now. Well, let's see if I can do that. So I've got some progress rather. I've had to take the clutch lever off because it's the only way that you can get this. But be careful when you take the screws out here, because they just fall out everywhere. So hopefully I can get those back. The screws are there. You can see those little collars. I think I've lost the washer somewhere, but I've got the collars still. The collars are actually for the mounting bracket for the heated grips controller. So the last thing to do is to actually take this off, hopefully. It sort of locates in here, but we should be able to pull this off and get a bit closer to it. The only trouble is that this switch here has got two spade connectors, and that plugs into the clutch switch sensor. So I need to disconnect that, so we'll be able to remove the whole assembly. Right, so here we are again. The switch that comes from there goes around the left fork and it comes down here, and you can see it coming here, this one here, and taking out this rubber boot here. So in the big fat cable there's two connectors under this boot underneath the fairings, the black one and the orange one, and they need to come out, and hopefully that will then allow us to remove the whole assembly once we've pulled that back. There it is. And those two go to the clutch switch lever, or clutch lever switch, which I showed you. And then we need to take this apart and try and find out what the hell is wrong with it. It's a bit like a dead animal hanging there, isn't it? Kind of strange, really. Right, let's get this upstairs to my little lab and see if we can define what the problem is and fix it. So let's get that upstairs right now. Okay, so we're back up in the lab now. Right, let me just show you the inside of this. You know, excuse the state of my fingernails because they've been greased up really badly doing this today. There's an actuator here, which is a piece of plastic and a little ball bearing under there, and that will go left and right. I've taken the actual switch out, and the switch sits just in front of the casing, and it moves this little plastic thing to the left or to the right, and there's a ball bearing in there, and that's what either turns the indicators to the left or to the right, or if you push it, it cancels them. So there's a little actuator here which was really greased up, and that sits in the centre in that little screw hole there, and just fits over that, and it turns from left to right, and that's what flags the indicators, or if you push it, as I say, it cancels it. And it's really disgusting. It's so black, can't really get that black off, and it was so thick with grease you could hardly move it. So that's what it looked like before. I took the grease off. Pretty bad. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick some of this chain lube on, because I haven't got any sort of engine oil or anything to put on it, and that should stick to it like it sticks to a chain, but we'll just take some of the excess surface oil off, because I don't want too much flying around in there, and that should be fine. It should be absolutely fine. So we just do that now. So we've got this little brass collar or bush. We're just going to sit that over the hole. The actuator will sit on the top, and then we'll screw it down with a little screw. It's a little washer. So it seems to turn to the left, turn to the right, okay, and we can push it in. It's very easy, light action now. It doesn't stick, it doesn't snag, and it seems to be working quite well, really. I mean, just tighten it up a little bit more. So hopefully we can just go and put it back in the bike. That'd be good. So let's go and do that. But one of the things I don't know how easy it was for you to see before, but we've got a screw there, a screw there rather, and so there was a long one at the back, which I think was this one, and then the short one at the front was that one that goes up into that hole. But the main problem was getting it cancelled. Just tinkering around a little bit with it now, just to make doubly sure, and it does seem to be okay. It seems to be very free and easy. Right, so the moment of truth. So the clutch lever's back on. The main cable there, you can see the big fat one here. That is the one that goes multi-purpose switch here, which has got the pass light, the dip and headlights, and the turn switch. That all comes down that black cable there, and in fact it comes down here into this big boot there, and then goes off to the cable loom, which you can see it connected to. And these other little cables there, there's my heated grips. The question is, does it work? So turn that on. So first thing, indicators. So let's have a look. Yeah, indicators work, and if I cancel it, press in the middle, they're gone. And if the indicators are on the right, or the back actually, I'll show you the one on the back, it means it's going on the right, and you can actually see it's flashing on the screen anyway. So it all seems to be working. The only thing that needs to be put on now is the fairing, which I'll do off camera. But the action on this switch now is so light. Now all that garbage is being taken off. And it's just so easy to turn this on now, and just cancel it. Okay folks, well I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you're a VFR user and it's been useful to you to see this fix, I really hope that you will subscribe to the channel. With that being said, I will see you next time.